Paige and Sonya Deville recently had a heated exchange on Twitter. In character, Deville made a snarky remark about the two-time WWE Divas Champion's recent tweet, which prompted the latter to tag Naomi in response. Naomi has been engaged in a feud with the on-screen official on SmackDown lately. While Paige is no longer an active competitor, she has a history with Deville. Both women, alongside Mandy Rose, were part of a trio called Absolution between 2017 and 2018. Not too long ago, the former NXT Women's Champion shared a positive opinion regarding her general manager stint on SmackDown. She called herself the best GM in a tweet, which encouraged Sonya Deville to reply. Paige maintained character while she had the following reaction to Deville's statement. "I can still make you my BCH anytime I want. Paige 2.0 at Naomi WWE. Come get this F King clown shoe." Naomi chimed in on the Twitter exchange and received a response from the anti-diva as well. While the two Absolution stars never went one-on-one against each other, they last teamed up during a house show on December 27, 2017. It also marked the now former in-ring competitor's final match for WWE, as she had to retire due to neck injuries. Eric Bischoff, another former GM, appeared on the latest episode of SmackDown as a result of Deville's frequent attempts to undermine Naomi's WWE career. Bischoff influenced on-screen official Adam Pearce to book a match between the two women. If their clash on next week's show features typical shenanigans, higher-ups have the option to book Paige's return, even if it is for a non-wrestling role. WWE could use her recent Twitter exchange with Deville as part of the storyline. While there are no rumors to suggest the same, the two-time Divas Champion's potential comeback would resume the former GM trend following Bischoff's recent on-screen appearance. Not only does it fit within the theme of Deville's similar managerial role, but the company could also explore the Absolution storyline as a result. Interestingly, the on-screen official told Sportskeeda Wrestling in 2020 that she wished she had gotten more time to work as a trio in Absolution. Deville had the following to say about Paige's backstage demeanor. "I always talk about how confident and how laid back she was. She'd have this crazy segment coming up and she'd be cracking jokes just before she went out, which kind of the opposite of how I am. I'm so intense the whole day, usually, focused. So it was cool to kind of be around her and just see that level of experience and competence she had," admitted Sonya. As anything could happen on the road to WrestleMania, it would not be a surprise to see a twist or two unfold in Naomi and Sonya Deville's feud. Triple H is a former WWE champion and one of the most popular superstars in the company's history. His success has always had an asterisk, as many believe he was pushed because of his connections with Vince McMahon. However, WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross has rubbished those claims. The game gained backstage influence early on in his WWE career thanks to his friendships with Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. He later married McMahon's daughter Stephanie McMahon. There have been multiple former superstars who have claimed that he used his influence to get ahead. Speaking on his podcast Grilling JR, Jim Ross said that Triple H always had the potential to shine on his own, but it was the way he navigated political waters and his mannerisms that led to a lot of the guys backstage not liking him. "I knew he was going to be a star, and if you couldn't figure that out, you were just being unobjective and being a typical paranoid wrestler. He was going to take some spots because he was willing to put in the work to see that got done." Some of his mannerisms and how he navigated the political waters were not universally accepted by a lot of guys that Triple H's power base affected, said Jim Ross. The creator of NXT has been on a break since he suffered a cardiac event. It is not known when the game will return to his backstage role of handling NXT 2.0. Alexa Bliss is set to return to WWE with her previous gimmick. Alexa Bliss has been playing a dark character in WWE for over a year. She recently returned the same, following a 4-month absence. However, Bliss might undergo another character change upon her return to the ring. On January 19th, WWE applied to trademark the goddess Alexa Bliss nickname before her character change in 2020. Here is the full description of it. Entertainment services, namely, wrestling exhibitions and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer rendered live and through broadcast media including television and radio, and via the internet or commercial online service. Providing wrestling news and information via a global computer network. Providing information in the fields of sports and entertainment via an online community portal. Providing a website in the field of sports entertainment information. Fan club services, namely, organizing sporting events in the field of wrestling for wrestling fan club members. Organizing social entertainment events for entertainment purposes for wrestling fan club members. Providing online newsletters in the fields of sports entertainment. Online journals, namely, blogs, in the field of sports entertainment. This could see Bliss return to her previous gimmick. WWE applying for trademarks for superstar names has hinted at a few such character changes in the past. Shorty G and Happy Corbin are recent examples of this. Perhaps, the Goddess is set to join them. WWE also filed to trademark Uncensored and Super Brawl for entertainment purposes. They are both names of former WCW pay-per-views. Alexa Bliss became the sole supernatural star in Vince McMahon's promotion after Bray Wyatt was released. This came after she cost The Fiend against Randy Orton at WrestleMania 37. Since then, Bliss has used telekinetic powers and her childhood doll Lily to gain the upper hand. Even though she played the role well, fans were not entirely on board with the character. Bliss was written off of television after losing a Raw Women's title match to Charlotte Flair at Extreme Rules. The Queen proceeded to rip Lily the doll to shreds, which sent her into a breakdown. The five-time women's champion returned a couple of weeks ago, partaking in backstage therapy segments. Based on WWE's filing of the Goddess as a trademark, the endgame of Alexa Bliss going to therapy could be a return to her former self. Do you want Bliss to remain in her current character or return as the Goddess? Let us know in the comments below. Former WWE superstar Paige made a request to NXT's Cora Jade in a heartfelt tweet. Not long ago, Cora Jade was a part of the WWE universe and wanted to become a wrestler. Jade recently engaged in a wholesome Twitter conversation with Paige, and the latter recalled meeting the young gun back in 2015. The former Divas champion also made a request to Jade. I remember meeting you back in 15, I believe. You're a badass and you're gonna be an even bigger star. Also, teach me how to skateboard, she wrote. In response, Cora Jade wrote that she still has pictures from the time the duo met. OMG stop, yes I still have the pictures, it's a date, bring your pup too please, wrote Jade. Cora Jade is just 21 years old and has a long road ahead of her in WWE. She is a quick learner and is steadily making a name for herself in the company. Here's what Jade had to say about her rise in WWE. It feels great. This was obviously, it happened a little quicker than I thought it would. Yeah, I was wrestling on the independents for about 2 years before my tryout, and obviously when you get the email for the tryout, it's a dream come true because this is where I always wanted to be. And I actually got the email like 2 weeks beforehand, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, which I guess is best case scenario because I would definitely freak myself out. But yeah, I got the email for the tryout and then I went. It was like 3 days long. I saw a lot of people I knew there, so that was good. But yeah, I started and did the Dusty Classic with Jiggy Dolan and it's just been crazy from then on. So much has happened, but I'm very grateful, very thankful, and I'm excited to see what's next. I have a lot of goals for the future, so we'll see, said Jade. Have you seen Cora Jade wrestle on WWE NXT? Do you think she has it in her to become an even bigger WWE superstar than Paige? Sound off in the comments below. Four-time world champion and WWE Seth Rollins has taken a massive shot at Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Rollins is set to challenge the Tribal Chief at the upcoming Royal Rumble Premium Live event for his title. This past week on SmackDown, he won a tag team match with Kevin Owens against the Usos. As a result of the same, Jay and Jimmy Uso are no longer allowed to be at ringside for the Universal title match at Royal Rumble. Earlier, Roman Reigns tweeted out the following, taking a shot at Seth Rollins for showing up on the blue brand thinking that he's affecting Reigns' universe. Little brother still shows up to my shows thinking he's affecting my universe. There is only one, and it is me. 1v1, anyone, anytime. Hashtag best to ever do it, hashtag GOAT, hashtag SmackDown, hashtag Royal Rumble, wrote Reigns in his tweet. Rollins has now replied to the same, taking a shot back at the Tribal Chief. He claimed that Fox executives asked him to come to SmackDown to inject some life into the show which Roman Reigns has drained over the last 500 days as the Universal Champion. He added that while this match should have taken place at WrestleMania, he's fine with ending Reigns' record title run at Royal Rumble. Him asked to hashtag SmackDown by Fox execs to inject some life into a show you've drained of it for the last 500 whatever ass days. And now it's just you and me, brother. While this should be mania, making history at Rumble suits me just fine, wrote Seth Rollins in his tweet. Roman Reigns has held the Universal Champion for 500 plus days now and recently broke Brock Lesnar's record to become the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time. However, his title run could be in jeopardy next weekend at Royal Rumble if historical stats are to be believed. Out of his 4 world title victories, Seth Rollins has won 2 of them by pinning Reigns. The first one happened at WrestleMania 31 where he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract in the main event match between Reigns and Lesnar and pinned the former to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The second incident took place at Money in the Bank 2016 where Rollins pinned Reigns in a singles match to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Although, minutes later, Dean Ambrose cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on Seth Rollins to win the title. Could history repeat itself at WWE Royal Rumble 2022 with Rollins once again defeating Reigns to win a world title?